Welcome back. This is Steve, a consultant at McGhee Productivity Solutions. We are a consulting firm specializing in improving performance and work-life balance for our clients. This video is the second half of our Managing Interruptions video, and here's a few more tips for you on how to manage those interruptions. Enjoy. Another way that we get interrupted is in our attempt to multitask. A lot of us think that we're great multitaskers. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to things that require focus, nobody's a good multitasker. You're best focusing on one thing at a time and giving it your full attention and moving on to the next. One of the examples I give in a class with a room full of people is I have everybody count from 1 to 10 as quickly as they can, out loud. And then I have them say the alphabet from A to J. And typically there's no errors with that. Everybody can count from 1 to 10, everybody can say the alphabet from A to J quickly. And counting from 1 to 10 might take 3 seconds, and doing the alphabet might take 4 seconds. And they completed 2 tasks with 100% accuracy in 7 seconds. And then I asked the class to multitask. And what I do is I say, you're gonna count from 1 to 10 and say the alphabet from A to J, but you're gonna interject them. 1A, 2B, 3C, just like that. And I say go, and the class starts doing it, and then halfway through everybody's laughing and having a good time because everybody's messed it up. And the example there is I usually stop them at like 12 or 15 seconds because it's a mess. And I ask them, I said, do you see the analogy there? When you were multitasking, trying to do 2 things at once, you had a 100% failure rate, and it took you over 12 seconds to try to get it completed. And if you would have just did 1 at a time, you'd had a 100% accuracy rate and had the whole thing done in 7 seconds. So multitasking. Another way that people do that is they think they're being crafty while you're on a conference call. I think we've all done it. Raise your hand if you have. Where we're on that conference call and we're checking our email. And we think we're being all kinds of secret squirrel, right? Being all stealth, checking that email. The problem is that when somebody calls on you on that call and says, hey Steve, so what do you think about that? And I'm like, can you repeat the question? My internet glitched, right? Or we make some excuse. Or maybe you're on it to say, hey, I was multitasking, ask me the question again. The problem with that is that you're not paying attention to that call while you're thinking about what you're writing on the email. I've actually seen emails sent where the first sentence makes sense, and then the second sentence was some kind of mumbo jumbo. It didn't make any sense. And when I asked the person what the heck they were trying to tell me in this email, they say, oh, sorry, that second line, that was something that somebody said on the conference call that I was on while I was writing that email. So as you can see, it's not productive. If it's a meeting worth being in, it's a meeting worth giving your attention to. So give your focus to that meeting. And then do your email at set times when you're processing your email. If it's a meeting that you feel like it's not that worthy of your time and you feel like you should be doing other things, then I suggest that you say no to that meeting and say, hey, I don't need to be in that meeting. I'm not going to add value to it. There's enough people from my department that are going to be there. If there's anything that I need to know, I will get that information from meeting notes. So make your choices, but when you do make your choice, give it your full attention and don't try to multitask. Another way that we get interrupted is by other people. That's probably the biggest one, right? We get interrupted by other people all the time. You get the drive-by as you're going to get a cup of coffee. Hey Steve, can you send me that report? And you're trying to keep it in your head till you get back to your desk. Or you're working at your desk, and we all, especially leaders, we want to have this open door policy. So we leave our door open and people are popping their head in there and asking questions all the time. And while the open door policy is a great thing, when you're in focus time, you need to be able to be uninterrupted. So you need to be able to set expectations for people that say, when my door's closed, that means I'm in focus time. And when my door's open, that's when I'm available for you folks. Okay, and it's still having an open door policy, but it's giving you that focus that you need when you're trying to have that focus time without interruption. Now, those of us that don't have offices and we work in a cube or in an open space environment, there's still ways you can set expectations for people so that they're not interrupting you while you're having focus time. And some creative ways that I've had clients show me that they use. For example, some people might use headphones. They'll put those headphones on and they'll let everybody know that they work with that means that I'm in my focus time. When my headphones are on, that's when I choose not to be interrupted. Others might use a flag that they put on the corner of their cubicle. Red flag means I'm focused. Green flag means you can come on down and ask me questions if you like. These are all just examples of ways that you can manage interruptions from other people. Setting expectations for other people is the key there. And that's the most important thing that you can do. Another way to manage interruptions is to schedule regular one-on-one meetings with the people you work with the most. So as leaders, if you have 6 people in your charge, I recommend that you have a regular standing meeting with each one of those people every week or every 2 weeks, whatever your flow of business determines. And in those meetings is when you go over the items that you've captured in your tasks for that one-on-one meeting with that person. And how that helps with interruptions is if you and Susie have a one-on-one on Fridays and Susie has a question for you on Wednesday that's not urgent, she will no longer have the need to come in and ask you that question right now or send you an email right now with that question. She can simply save that question into her categories for her one-on-one with you, and when you sit down and have your meeting, you each go through all the things you captured that week. It saves all that time from all the interruptions of the non-urgent things throughout the week, and it also gives you a pre-built agenda for your one-on-one meeting. Susie, here's the things I have for you that I want to discuss. What do you have for me? And she goes through her things that she has for you, and you're done. So that's a great way to manage interruptions, is by setting and keeping those one-on-one appointments with people that you work with the most. Thanks again for taking a few minutes to watch this video. Hopefully you found some value in that. Keep your eye out for more videos on overviews for all of our programs, as well as tips and tricks, just like the ones you just saw. Always check us out on LinkedIn, or you can look at our website at McGheepro.com, or reach out to me directly if you have questions at steven.crawford@McGheepro.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.